Hello, everybody. Welcome to the In Hyperspace Podcast. This is Chase right here. Thank you for tuning in and, you know, taking the time to investigate what the hell I might be talking about, or what I might have to say. Um, there's quite a lot on my mind right now. First of all, let me get into my dreams because I've been having a lot of dreams recently. I wanna say yeah, they're kind of concerning to me too. They definitely make me have to think about them when I wake up. It's what the hell was that? Or why am I having that experience? And some people I feel like some people, when I try to discuss this with them or whatever, there's one person I was trying to talk to about my dreams or whatever, and they're just nope, dreams are completely meaningless. They're they some people who go to university, I swear, or people who watch Neil deGrasse Tyson for once, watches Neil deGrasse Tyson once type thing, meme. um I don't know, there's this rationality, or very rational, or a kind of logical reasoning kind of way of thinking, or really more like a materialistic or materialist way of thinking. And it's it's a certain line of reason. It's almost like a um someone has their speech, it's like a prepared speech type thing, the sun, or the Big Bang, explaining the Big Bang, the timeline of evolution, and how the universe is expanding, and therefore we're all just random atoms, or just mere coincidence, randomness, arbitrary, just meaningless, an accident, really, etc., etc. But I guess I like to play around with maybe trying to interpret things with a more meaningful way of thinking, I guess, or trying to find meaning or lessons and value. Like a, I believe that it seems to me that value is to be found, and meaning is Jordan Peterson once said, it's not so much about everything's made of matter, but it's more so about what matters, and something like that. I can't quote him exactly, but yeah, basically, matter materialism versus what matters, and I like to I tend to open my mind up to the possibility of things mattering, or and I take my dreams, and I go back, and I'm why. Let me just explain some of the dreams that I've been having. um I'll just say that some of them have been kind of violent, I guess. Some of them, there's one of them, there's a dream I had where it was someone had a knife against my back, and things like that. But or getting into a fight with somebody, or someone threatening me, kind of thing, or it's almost this it's not it's I feel like it's not really anybody specific. It's more so it's this force, this antagonistic kind of force. I don't want to say that it's antagonist necessarily, um, but it's kind of like in opposition, or I feel like there's like this oppositional force, and it's kind of like it's not even necessarily like just dreams though. Like if psychedelics and stuff, I feel like if I were to take psychedelics, like it would just kind of it would emphasize that sort of meaning again of like, hey, like you need to watch the hell out, or like you need to get your shit together, or like, yeah, because there's certain dreams where it's like I do feel like they have a meaning. Like I had this one dream where my face was just all like, it was like all exploded, looking like my flesh was just like hanging off of my face and stuff, and it's like very morbid. But like the meaning that I got from it was like the feeling that I had when I looked in the mirror, and it's like all my vanity or whatever. Like that's not my thoughts exactly, but it's like my self-image, or like the image of like who I am is like destroyed, kind of, or it's like, I want to say, distorted or something. And it just kind of like left me thinking like, oh my god, like who would like love such a thing, kind of thing, or like, who would really, care about me if I looked like really ugly and disgusting, kind of thing. Like it just made me like reevaluate, I guess, my priorities and stuff. Like there's a very shallow way of thinking where it's like just because of how someone looks, or like the value I have is held in how like how I look. And yeah, be careful holding on to things like that, because those are not permanent necessarily. Like how we look and how other people look, it's not a permanent thing. It's not solid ground necessarily. It's not permanent. And then with like this oppositional force where it feels like there's some like looming kind of threat thing. It's not always the case, but primarily like what I feel like is like it's kind of like, it's basically like karma. That's how I view it. Is it's just like what goes around comes around, kind of thing. And it's like, there may have been some people or some person that I might have hurt, and it's like the universe kind of has this like, you hurt them, we're gonna hurt you, kind of thing. And taking like a great like pleasure in that kind of thing, kind of like a maniacal mania or something, like a maniac kind of thing. It can feel like pretty, I want to say like scary. It's like intimidating, I suppose, but or at least initially. And it's not even necessarily like, yeah, like I said, like it's not necessarily like any specific character, that it's more so what's manifesting through that character. It's like a force. It feels almost like a demonic possession, but it's not like it. I don't think it's really like a demon or anything like that. It's like, I feel like it's all like God, and he's trying to like teach me a lesson, kind of thing. You know, and kind of like pressuring me to like, you know, it almost feels like what I value or something like that. What I'm like invested in, or the effect that I'm having in the world or on certain people is, you know, it it goes back around to me somehow. Like, if I, yeah, like if I like am just like forgetting about somebody, or um like not caring about somebody and just like choosing other things, and not kind of trying to look away from what really matters, kind of thing. It like seems to come back around to like haunt me, I suppose. So I've been having, I want to say, like a reoccurring kind of dream theme. It's like a theme that's been running through my dreams, and yeah, but it's weird because I want to say that I've been making progress in that regard. Like some of the dreams, like it feels like I'm kind of getting the upper hand in them. Um, I don't want to like say too much though, because yeah, I don't know what my future dreams might hold. But yeah, I had like this really fucking weird as fuck dream today. I had like maybe 5 dreams today, because I slept like 9.5 hours. I sleep a lot if I can. I usually get like 8+ hours of sleep, maybe 8.5. Like I really value sleep. I make it a priority. I don't go to school or anything like that, so I just work part-time for the most part. I have quite a bit of time to myself, so um, yeah, excuse me. So this dream that I had, if I could recall it, is basically like I was like studying for a test or something, and I have this dream. Okay, this is all a dream. Okay, but it was like I was studying for a test, and or I'm there's like this test at like university or school or something, and then I have a dream about it where it's like there's like a bomb or something that's gonna go, like that's gonna hit the school or something. I'm not even in school right now, but I had like this dream that there's gonna be this bomb, or something, explosion, like a missile was gonna hit the fucking school or some shit. And I I went. I still went. I took the test. It's weird. It was like I was taking the test, and it was like, oh, like I know all these answers, and I was answering them all. I felt like I was getting them all correct, but then it was like the time ran out for the exam. It was like a final exam, so it's like this test was like determining whether or not I would have to retake this class, and and it was like, what the fuck, like the time ran out, but I felt like I would have aced this test, but now since the time ran out, I'm gonna fail it. Like, okay, like it just felt unfair or whatever. And then flash forward, for some reason, I tell some people like, hey, there's gonna be like a fucking bomb, or like a missile is gonna fucking hit the school. I just have a bad feeling about this shit. And for some reason, it's like then I'm running with a few people. I don't even know who. And it's like dark out. It's like running through like trying to run through a field or something. And there's like a lot of like tall plants and shit that we're like running through and shit. But it's like in an unknown direction, and I feel like I took the wrong path or something, because we somehow get stopped. And I don't know how the fuck it happens, but then we're somehow in like this room, like we get captured, and we're like in a room, and there's like, it's almost like a classroom, but it's all dark and stuff. Like there's some light, but and it's like they go into like arrest everybody, or like, I don't know, like maybe kill everyone. I am not really sure exactly what they're gonna do, but it's like we're all like caught or whatever, and like we had like these tyrannical, they felt like Nazis kind of, or something like that. They're just like, but it's like, it felt like more PG-13 for some reason, and like a video game or something, and we all got caught, but everyone in the room like put their hands up like this, like they like surrender, and for some reason like I do this, and I'm like trying to make an offer of peace or some shit, and I'm like, there must be peace, or like, this trying to like this openness to peace and light and stuff, and it felt like a goddamn fucking it's almost like a, in the video game Oblivion, or Skyrim, or Fallout or whatever, like you have like a dialogue with somebody, and you like look at them, and they look at you, kind of thing. And like when I was doing this, it's like, then like one of the soldiers or whatever like moved out of the way or something, and there's this other like character, and they already were doing this, but they turned at me, and this character had like it had like Alex Gray fucking artwork. Let me see if I can like find something. I'm gonna try to find some art. What it might have looked like. Okay. Maybe that. It was so Alex Gray. It was weird. I'm just seeing if I can find like a really good example. Okay, this is probably the closest I got to it, but it was like it wasn't that's not exactly what it looked like. Like, here's the cover of the book, that one of the books that I have, but it's like that kind of like style, but they were wearing it as like a there's like this cylinder that they had over their head that was like it was like made out of some sort of fabric or whatever. It was more like you know how like there's those like lanterns that have like the cloth around it, but they like light up. It wasn't lit up, but it was like, it had like that Alex Gray artwork on it, and like they were some sort of like it just kind of gave me the vibe of like some sort of like power, or like some person that had like a higher power individual, not like a spirit or anything, but like a person of power. And so I was trying to make like a offering, or I was trying to like have peace or something, and they gave me like an offering, and it was like, okay, you can have peace, but you have to there was some like catch about it that just seemed like not good or something. And is like I was in like a tight situation, and excuse me, in my mind, I was just like, trying to find the piece or whatever. But then something said, like, I have to find my belt. And in the dream, like, I take my belt out, and it's like a, I was gonna see if maybe I could show you guys, but it's like a belt that is made out of like a, maybe like some sort of cloth. It's like it's like a fabric kind of belt that has like it's a very simple, like, basically the belt is like two rings that look kind of like, it's like a D shape, and there's two of them, and you loop it around, and you, like, I think cinch, or like you just kind of tighten it down. But I took the belt. I'm like, okay. I said out loud, like, I have to find my belt, or let me get my belt. And like I was gonna make some sort of offering to this being or whatever, this person, this unknown person, and then it's like I take the belt off, but I suddenly just like whip it, like I whip it and hit him like in the face, like with the metal part. And that's kind of like, that just totally, like, I feel like that's kind of where the dream ended or something. Like, that was like that's like the scene in the movie where it's like they have a person at gunpoint, and then they're just like, wait a second, let me show you where, they're like gonna give them like an offering or something, but then they, like, once they get their attention, like, they just totally like fuck them up. That's like basically what I did in the dream. Like, I hit him with a belt, and then it was like, I think like a fight broke out or whatever with everyone in the room or whatever. So that's like fucking weird. And but I don't want to say it's like merely just like in the dream or whatever. Like, I think a lot about like tyranny, and like Nazi Germany, the Soviet Union, and people who've been like falsely prosecuted and things like that, and just like people who've been like in prisoner of war situations and shit like that. Like what the fuck? Like, how the fuck do you respond or react in situations like that? Like, what can you do? And it's like a weird little, like, it's like a game or something. Like, it's like a test, I want to say. Like, God has created this test where it's like, okay, how are you going to find life, or like, how, like, what are you just gonna die, or are you just gonna let these people kill you, or are you gonna like do something about it, or are you gonna find the light? It's so weird, but I feel like there's like, it's like it just feels like life is like testing me, and it's like, do I have a life that's worth fighting for, kind of thing, or like what's really worth fighting for, or what's really worth living for, and stuff like that. Like having like a purpose, I want to say. And then yeah, there's that. That's basically like covering the dreams and stuff that I've been having. It's not even dreams though. Like, it's like, if I were to, like I said, if I were to do a psychedelic, I feel like that whole thing is brought up again. And yeah, okay. So there's that. And now I'm gonna talk about like my diet and stuff. So today I broke a 48-hour fast. I I basically plan on doing like 14, 15 days of fasting, and yeah, but probably not consecutively. It's probably gonna be 48-hour fast, 72s, 96s maybe. Just getting those days of fasting in, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I can't really tolerate eating fat very well. If it's like when you're trying to fill up a gas tank and it's like it's already full, so like why are you trying to add more? This is just gonna cause problems. And I feel like that's what I've been doing with the carnivore diet, is like trying to eat like fat. It just seems like too much. But with fasting, I feel like I should be able to tolerate eating fat more, because eating too much fat and stuff can like give me nausea and stuff. Like if you guys have seen like some of the previous videos, I talk about it a bit, where like I'll get nausea from just like too much fat in my diet or whatever. And so, some people will be like, well, just eat smaller meals more frequently. Some people will be like, just try eating only lamb. That's what Michaela Peterson told me. Like I just reached out to like all these different people: Sean Baker, Michaela Peterson, just the different communities too. Just seeing like if anyone has had similar problems. And then there's this one person, Steak and Butter Gal, Steak and Butter Gal on YouTube. If I remember to, I'll try to put her in I'll try to link these people down below. Excuse me. But Steak and Butter Gal, she made a video about nausea on the carnivore diet, talking about it. Like there's like this adaptation period, and people get like a keto flu, and like people who try to cut carbs, they'll experience like nausea sometimes. And yeah, and that can definitely happen, and I feel like that's happened with me. And I don't think it's necessarily an adaptation thing. I think it's more so because I have too much fat in my body as it is, and my body just it's just too much to deal with, I guess. Like if I were to just eat meat and fat, it would be kind of tough for me to gain weight. But if I were to eat like carbs for some reason, I can gain weight like pretty easily. So yeah, I plan on doing like I want to say like I'm gonna try to do a 72-hour fast. Or like I'm gonna try to skip 2, maybe 3 days of eating after today. But so in my last video too, I mentioned about like insecurities in diet, or like having like a why I feel like there's like a if someone goes through something really emotional, that can cause them to like quit the diet, or to like have like a break in their diet. And a very typical example, or like we've all seen it, where it's like you see it on TV, someone goes through a bad breakup or whatever, some woman, she goes through, she has a breakup, or and she's just eating ice cream and crying or whatever. And there's like people look to food, or those sorts of food, for comfort and solace, or even out of boredom or whatever. And yeah, so for me, I recently it's funny because it's like I feel like it's a lie, but I went through a little bit of heartbreak, basically how I feel right now, or like basically like my goal, or my plan so far. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like Futurama, but where it's like Fry, the main character, he has like this dog, and he's like best friends with this dog or whatever. But then Fry accidentally travels through time or whatever. He gets cryogenically frozen and goes to the future, and it's like, but what happened to the dog, And it shows it in in the TV show. The dog just waited for him. The dog waited outside the pizza joint where Fry was every day, or and just waited for him to come back, and for him to return, and that like loyalty, that commitment, and patience. It's like a sacrifice or something. And there's that saying like true love waits, and I have had a few moments where it's like I feel like I'm that dog, that I'm just like waiting for somebody to come back, kind of thing. I like this patience, just patiently waiting, and just I had this crazy experience where I was like thinking about that stuff, and it's just all kind of like hitting me like really hard, and like I was like crying and stuff. But it was like, as I was crying, like I had like this dream, and I once had this dream where it's like there's this one person who used to be like a boss of mine at work, and this person was like pretty like he's kind of like very tough and like aggressive and stuff, and but in the dream he was like enlightened, and there's this person that I used to date and stuff, and like they were in this dream too, and I saw them both, and they both were like enlightened. It felt like they were in heaven, just like waiting for me. And yeah, it's like this really high level of like understanding. It's like this when I had that dream and I woke up from it, it was like God really loves me, and it was like God loves me no matter what. And it's like this thing where it's like, I make all these mistakes and all these failures or whatever, or I'm not yet enlightened or whatever, and it's just like this patience, like they're just waiting for me, and just like watching over me, kind of thing. And like the expressions on their face, it's just like, it's like this understanding, and like this thing that like I'm loved, and it's like this truth that can make me like really emotional, because it's like, it's almost like, I don't know what it is, like unbelievable or whatever, or like I like I try not to forget it, kind of thing. And so the other day, I was like crying, because like there's this one person, and it's like I was like, I don't know how long I have to wait for them. And I'm like, it might be my whole life. And like it was like I was like crying and stuff, but it was like this, I could visualize like my higher self, like like the expression was like, it was like an enlightened expression. It wasn't like super joyous or anything, but it was like an understanding, you know. It's like I want to say it was like a mental toughness, like a higher understanding kind of thing. And it was weird because it felt like here's like me crying, but then here's me in like a more ethereal kind of like luminescent like being that is just like all understanding kind of thing. And you know, it's just like so much care, and that is just sorry, I just kind of hit my fucking camera, but yeah, it's just so much like care, and that to me is like the guiding compass for me, like experiences like that. And people will be like, no, you know, it's all material. Dreams don't mean anything. They're just, you know, it's all randomness. And it almost feels like some people have like an intolerance to meaning, you know, like they don't want to go there. They don't want to, you know, open that door of possibility, you know. Because I feel like that door of possibility is like the truth or something, or like what's really real, and like that really real thing, it's like this really emotional dynamic, or like this thing, you know, where it's like I think about my like it really puts things into perspective, I guess. Like the things I value, you know, is that really, you know, what I want, you know. And yeah, it's weird, but it's like I feel like there's these people that are like looking down, or like they're looking after me in heaven, and it's like I just want to return the favor and be there with them. Yeah, it just makes me want to like fucking cry, but that's like that real shit. You know, people are like, oh, just fairy tales and, you know, blah. It's like this extreme fucking, like, you know, they just do not want to fucking go there. But like, you know, at a certain point, I just have to like, I have to see for myself, you know. Like, here's one thing too, is like, you know, some people in my life as of recent, you know, they're like, you might have people that you consider your friends or whatever, but really they might just be there in your life to make you question the truth, you know, or to as a test, you know, like it might make you try to question your own morals, and like wait, give up on the truth or something, see if, you know, kind of test that. And you know, it's like I've had people, you know, try to test me and my carnivore diet and stuff, and like like you're gonna be, you know, someday you're gonna realize that you're wrong about it, and you're wrong about it, like, you know, just saying all these things that that I don't really even consider to be true, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but I'll do my best. Yeah, I just kind of feel like sometimes like reality and truth and stuff, it feels like people don't really want to acknowledge it. people don't want to acknowledge that what they might be doing isn't really the best that there is, kind of thing, or they don't want to give up their addictions and what they're holding on to and stuff, and they don't want to give up their lifestyle or what they value and stuff, or change their values and stuff. You know, like trying to call me crazy, trying to it's this weird thing where it's like they're not haters necessarily, but that's probably the best word I have for them. It's kind of like they're just trying to like poke me to see if like I'm for real about it. I feel like, and I feel like that's how I've been feeling about it as of recently, where it's like, it's kind of like this back and forth where it's like, do you just be a follower or do you be a leader, And what a follower does is like they hear something, someone tells them something, and someone's like, oh, if you feed fucking dogs corn, that's like that's the that's their shit right there. That'll like that'll be really good for them, kind of thing. But if you're a follower, you're just gonna be like, oh, feed dogs corn, like, cool, like that sounds cool. To where like if you want to be a leader, you might be like, well, I don't know about that. Okay, you don't just accept things for what they are, I guess. Like you just, for me, I try not to just accept the status quo, like oh sweet, Merry Christmas, we get to it kind of lets you get a, I don't know, it's like some people just want to say things and have that be how it is, like that's like that's their shit right there, like that is the best, that's the best. I titled my last video Beyond Truth, and like I was thinking about it. I don't want to like overthink about it, but it's kind of like this thing where it's like, people just take the truth for what it is, I feel like a lot of people, including me, we all kind of tend to just take the truth, we take the truth and we stick with it. When I think in reality, like the truth is, it's like always better. Like like there's always more. Like claiming something to be the best or whatever, or I don't know how to explain it, but like it doesn't get any better than this kind of thing, like this, like I don't know, maybe maybe there is something better out I guess what I'm trying to get to is like sometimes like it's kind of like we give things more value than what they actually are, I guess, or like it's like we see things how they are, and it's like we get settled into a certain kind of perspective on things, And it's like we insist that things are a certain way, when really it's like, what do we actually know? How are you so sure that um, um, I remember this one time I worked with someone. I was a dishwasher, and there's a line cook or whatever, and we were so fucking busy, and the line cook was getting so pissed off. These people are trying to kill me. I don't, like, he was just getting so upset. He's like, God fucking damn it. He was cussing and just like, he just saying bullshit constantly, and being very insistent. That is like his perspective was like insisting that everything is terrible, basically. Like, this is so bad, and to where I took that as fuel. I'm like, oh, is it, like, I didn't say it to him, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, really? Like, this is bad? Like, I'm like, I just started working really hard, like so fucking hard that, and I enjoyed it. Like, I basically wanted to work way harder than him and enjoy it. Like, basically try to put things into perspective. Like, you might think something's terrible when really, there could be someone going through, like, putting in way more work and loving it, Like, just because you don't love something doesn't mean that it's not lovable necessarily, you know. Um, uh, I it's it's it feels kind of tricky to explain, because sometimes it can feel like a kind of moment. Um, it can feel like it's just the meaning of that moment, and just capitalizing on it. And yeah, it's just like part of my story, I guess, and it might just kind of be my own personal meaning. Um, but okay, so I kind of like saved this. I don't know why, but this is like one of the later things I planned at, or like that I'm bringing up. But so I totally like fucked up my diet today. I'm like trying to be like zero carb carnivore, or basically um stay true to my diet, basically. But I feel like I got like a pass. I don't say I got a pass, but I kind of like, maybe it's like I tricked myself, or like I probably like deceived myself in a certain way from the truth. But it was like I wanted to like do. So basically, I went to this one place. I got like cookies and ice cream. Like, it was like a pint of ice cream. It's like Moose Tracks, and then I got some cookies, different kinds of cookies. Uh, a buddy was telling me about this place, and talking him up and all that. And I'm like, all right, I'll take note. Even though I don't really eat that stuff, I'll take note. Maybe I'll try it someday. And so I ended up trying it today, and it's pretty delicious. At first, especially as I kind of was eating it, it kind of was like, it's okay. It kind of just made me feel like lethargic and stuff. Luckily, or like, I don't feel sick right now from it. I'm hoping that I don't get sick from it. I basically plan on just doing like skipping 2 days of eating. I was planning on doing that regardless. I didn't even really have this in mind necessarily. Like, I'm just trying to get in so many days of fasting to like lose weight and stuff. So this was kind of like I don't know. I plan on like just yeah, like I basically had like this idea that I'm just gonna be back in ketosis. I'm gonna there's many different ways to get into ketosis or to get into the carnivore diet, how to like reset and get back on track. And I'm like, okay, this isn't really this isn't really out of like an extreme craving or like um I don't know how else to say it. Like, I didn't really feel like it was out of like, I wasn't really like craving it. It was more so just like a choice. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to eat this, and you know, and then yeah, I kind of just wanted to have like a little bit of a splurge, I guess is how you say it. Or like, I wanted to have, I guess, what people would call like a cheat day. Like, it was like I wanted it. Like, I wanted to have like to have that cheat in a way. And I think I did it to kind of just like create a mental reminder or something. Like, it was okay. So Jocko Willink, one time I saw on his Instagram where he was at like a grave site of one of his fallen brothers, basically, and he like drank. He drank like half a beer, or he like opened up a beer, and he took some drink. He like drank some of it, and then he poured the rest out like around the grave or whatever, on the grass next to the grave or whatever, or like in front of the stone or whatever, the gravestone. And it was like to commemorate like his fallen brother. And I feel like I was kind of doing something like that. Just like something like going through something really emotional or whatever. And just having like that meaning associated with it. That like struggle, I guess, to like commemorate or whatever. I feel like yeah, in my last video I talk about it too, like I got chocolate or whatever. Yeah. So basically I did that, and I'd like to be done with it and just get back on track. But I definitely wanted to create like that it's weird to say, but like a sacrament or something. Yeah. So definitely, like, I don't really believe in cheat days. I feel like they're weak. But hey, I had a fucking cheat day meal or whatever. And so yeah, I just plan on getting back into ketosis and to keep going on my weight loss and to stick to it. But I definitely am like, there's definitely some stuff going on like under the surface, and yeah, I just gotta be careful and actually like work through some of that stuff. Um, yeah, I don't want to feel too sorry for myself though. Yeah, or like woe is me kind of thing. But yeah, cause I even like question like, is a broken heart a lie? Like, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Um, that's just a question. That's just, what if kind of thing. I don't want to live a lie, and like I just, you know, gotta dig deep to find the truth sometimes. Um, but yeah, I thought I'd just give you guys like an update on like where I'm at and like what's on my mind and stuff. I If you're trying to stay clean on a diet, just fucking stay clean, okay? Don't fuck yourself up. Um, you gotta do the best for you and those around you. Um, all right, y'all. I'm just gonna leave it at this for now. All right, take care, everybody. Peace and love and harmony, and God bless. Bye bye now.